I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com, and today is another live paper crafting class here on Facebook on my Stamp Your Art Out with Rachel page, and we're going to do this card today. And if you've noticed anything different about this broadcast versus my previous ones, I am using a new program. So look at, it's not flipped around. You can actually read it. It's not mirrored, in other words. I'm using a fun program where I don't have to flip my phone. So I'm a little nervous because I want to make sure that I'm pressing the buttons the right way as we do this. There's also a bigger delay on this, so I will not see your comments until maybe like 30 seconds later instead of just 10 seconds later, I think was what it was before. So hopefully there are a few of you that are live with me right now. I don't see any comments yet, but hopefully they will start showing up. Oh, I see a hand waving from Kendra. So this is the card we're gonna make today, and I'm gonna walk you through the whole process with my new technology in broadcasting. And I've already got my other cameras set up. I have basically three cameras to go for this whole thing, and it's so super cool. Plus, you can see I cleaned up my room. It's much cleaner than, I don't know if you've noticed on other videos, but I actually like cleaned it up because you know, you're gonna see more of it with this kind of camera. So hi you guys, there's Julie and there's Janine and Dawn GJ, love it. So should we get started? Should I flip my camera? I actually don't even have to flip it physically. Watch this is so cool. Ta-da! And here's my hand. I'm going to show you guys something else that's really cool too. Let's see if I can get it to go here. So I want to do picture in picture. So let's see if we can do this. Oh, this is so cool, you guys. Here we go. Ta-da! So I can talk and like, you know, interact with you with my face, and I can create. So we're gonna give this a go. I'm gonna do a couple things on my computer screen, which is another screen that you're gonna see shortly, just so that I'm ready to share with you the actual measurements. We're gonna make this fun dragonfly closure card, and it closes because of the dragonfly. So watch this. This is super cool. Ta-da! So you can actually take and bend in the wings and insert it into the little slot here, and that way you can keep the card closed. It's so awesome. So people have been doing cards with this die cut here with one of our butterfly thinlits dies, and we got the idea, I believe, at least most of us did, when we went to On Stage last November. And I think it was Shelly Gardner. She was on stage with her daughter, Sarah. They were up there and demonstrating all this cool stuff with one of our Valentine bundles. And one of the hearts she had folded in half to go through this same slit here, but she had sewn it in there. So I'm going to show you with glue dots because I don't work with material, with fabric. I don't do that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to keep track of comments here too, you guys. So I see some people are already sharing, thank you, and they're saying hello. There's Dawn. Hi, Dawn. And oh, thanks you guys. There's Robin and Jennifer. So glad that you guys are checking in today. This is going to be a fun card. You're going to love it. So let's go over the measurements that you will need. And I'm going to take picture in picture off. Let's see if I know how to do that. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Ta-da! There are the measurements that you will need for this card. And you can see my mouse is scrolling, but I can't actually point with my finger. So we have measurements. We have Whisper White cardstock. You're going to use a half a sheet, which is what you normally would use for most cards, most medium cards. So a half a sheet of Whisper White, and it's cut at the 5.5 inch mark. So it's 5.5 by 8.5, and it is folded at the 4.25 inch mark. A basic black, you'll just need scraps. Vellum, you'll need scraps because we're going to die cut and punch from those. And then the Petal Garden designer paper is the one that I'm going to be showing first, but you can see that there's a whole lot of lovely written on there too, because I have some samples to share with you right after this that uses that paper, which also has some beautiful floral patterns in it. And so the Petal Garden is what we'll use first, And the 5 1/4 by 4" piece goes on the inside of the card, and the 2 by 4 1/4, actually I should have flipped these around, 2 by 4 1/4 goes on the outside. Because the one that I did with the Whole Lotta Lovely is actually using a slightly shorter piece because I cut wrong, but it still works. And then look I added other supplies for you guys. So I'm so excited. You can take a screenshot of this, and there's all the other supplies that you will need. But keep in mind that later, before next Wednesday, I will share this on my blog, and all of this stuff will be printed there as well if you don't want to come back to the video. Okay, let's flip you back around here. And hi again. And I'm going to change some things on my computer here just so that I make sure that we're all set to go. Okay, so you got the measurements and supplies already. I don't even have to like bring those out and show each one. Let's get started on making this card. The first thing you're going to do is go ahead and fold that in half, and let's grab our paper trimmer. We need to cut our designer paper, and I grabbed another sheet. It's a 6 by 6 stack of designer paper that we're going to use. So let's go ahead and make that camera come back in. There we go. Okay, so we're going to use this piece here. Beautiful paper. It's just, I love it so much. Okay, let's go ahead and trim this. And it doesn't matter which direction you go. I'm going to go ahead and just do it this way. We're going to go to the 4" mark. So you can see there, I'm using the measurements at the top. We're going to bring it to the 4" mark, bring our arm down and slice. And then we're going to rotate it, and we can cut it again at 5 1/4. So right there at that mark. There we go. We don't need that piece, although us paper hoarders, we definitely probably want to use that for another time. And then this piece we're going to bring into the trimmer at 4 1/4 inches. Now you could do 4 inches. Let's say you're using 12 by 12 paper. So you can, let's see if I can get this back here so you can, hang on. I'm doing something with my computer. There we go. All right, so let's say that you're going to use 12 by 12 paper. It would be best to use it efficient or economically if you were to cut it into 4" strips and then do all these pieces. So that's why I guess the 4" would work. But I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4 inches. And now we have our 2 pieces ready to go. Let's go ahead and grab our Big Shot. Here's our wonderful Big Shot tool. Can you see the whole thing? You can, great. A nice scratchy surface on my cutting mats. That means that they're well loved. And let's bring in our dies and our scraps. So here's our basic black paper. Now, when you die cut with these dies, and any dies really, it's easier when you bring in at an angle into the Big Shot, because then you are not stressing it so much if you were to bring it fully in like this, especially with like a square die or something that has a straight edge. Angle it in. It's much easier on your machine, your tool. So let's go ahead and just put it right there, because we're going to try to die cut both of them at the same time. Okay, and now we will bring in this piece here. Let's just bring this out a little bit more. Is it still in view? It is. You can see it, right guys? Okay. So now, here, we'll just shift this that way. Now let's bring in the detailed one. Oh, I'm doing them wrong. Oh, you know what? I'm so nervous. You guys might not be able to tell, but I'm nervous because this is totally a whole new setup for me. So your cutting mats look like that too, Julie. Of course, you know, you can't throw them away once they get scratched up because it's bound to happen, right? So let's just flip this one this way. There we go, Rachel. Now you're thinking. There, everything's fitting. Your paper is within and your dies are going the right direction. Plus, you know, when you die cut a real detailed die on the edge of your Big Shot, you have more pressure than if you were to place it in the middle. So now we'll go ahead and we'll crank this handle. And I'm going to bring this a little bit closer this way so you can see it coming through. There we go. And sometimes I go back and do it again. In fact, on this one, I think I will, just because it doesn't look like it's fully etched in there. So I'm going to just crank it back again the other way. There we go. Okay, so then we use a tool called a die brush. And the die brush, oh, boom, this is a heavy tool. The die brush is an excellent tool because you can just keep your die on your paper while you're doing it. And you're just going to scrub like this. And you're going to cause all this fun little confetti to go all over your craft room, which kind of, you know, doesn't make sense when you just cleaned your craft room like I did yesterday. You know, it always looks cleaned up. People, you know, people always tell me, oh, your craft room's so clean, but it was so dusty. I can't even, I mean, it was bad. The paper towels were filthy by the time I was done cleaning it up. So as long as you're scrubbing this dye brush or pushing through those little holes, the paper is going to release a lot better. There we go. And let's just brush this onto the floor and we'll sweep tonight. Okay, so now we've got our little die cut dragonfly that's all detailed, and we've got a full dragonfly with the vellum. We'll just set this stuff aside, and we're going to start sticking things on. So opening up your card, now normally you would put your sentiment here, right, inside your card, and you'd sign, but there is more white space inside of a card. And I don't know if a lot of you noticed this, but on the inside, at the top, is another area where you can write on your card. So we're going to use that as our area to write on. And I did do some measuring with this classic label punch, and it goes in a certain distance, and in order to make the most of our designer paper so it fits right in the middle of that designer paper, I measured, and it goes in 5/8 of an inch. So we can take our measurements that are either on our grid paper or on our paper trimmer here, and I'm gonna position this here for us so we can look at it. And we're gonna put some adhesive on the back, and I'm smiling right now because as I'm putting adhesive on the back, I'm remembering that I need to do another step first. I'm bringing back in, Vicki, are you with me? Or anyone on my team that when we broadcasted earlier today, I told you to cheer for me if I remember this. So I want cheering now because I'm doing pretty well. The leaf punch. We need to cut a bunch of leaves. Actually, just a couple would be fine. All right, so we've got our leaf punch. How is the is it clear, you guys? I want you to make sure that you're, you know, giving me feedback on this, because if it's not working to broadcast this way, I want to know what things I can improve on, okay? But so far from my end, it looks right. So I've got a couple little leaf punch image or pieces here, and I first want to tape one of them down, and I know I'm going to go in about 5/8 of an inch. So I'm reading your comment here, Karen. Hang on, I just stopped to read a comment. The cutting plate. Okay, so the reason why I did not use the cutting plate, Karen, is because this one works fine without it. But yes, for detailed dies, I would recommend getting the precision cutting plate. Let me get it. In fact, you can see me going over to where it is in my room, because you can see my whole room. This is so cool, you guys. Okay, so here is the precision plate. This is the cutting mat that she's talking about. And I did talk about this in another video where I gave some big shot tips. This one's great for detailed dies. Oh, I gotta show it. This one's great for detailed dies because it's super, super strong, and it doesn't warp. It's basically metal with a very thin layer of rubber on it that's very strong. And unlike these things, these start to bend and bow, and they wear out more. So you have more even pressure when you die cut with the precision plate. And that's why the detailed dies are great for that. But I've found that some of my dies are just fine with the regular plates. And for this one, that's all I want to do anyways. I also don't want a lot of people to feel like they have to own it all. So, but if you find that you buy a lot of detailed dies, the precision plate is an excellent thing to add to your big shot. Thanks for that comment there. Okay, so let's keep going. We're going to go ahead and add one of the punches. Now I know I'm going to go in about 5/8 of an inch. So if I have my trimmer here and I lay it against the edge here, I can see that 5/8 of an inch is a 1/2 inch plus a couple little more marks. So it's right, let's see if I can point to it with the scissors. It is right here, okay? So I'm gonna kind of eyeball that, or you could lay something next to it or whatever, but I want to make sure that my adhesive that I stick this piece down with is going to be past that. So I just put a little tiny piece there, and I'm going to go ahead and stick that guy right up there, okay? Then this one will receive the other punched piece. So you want to stick it, okay, so I think I want to put it this way on the card. So I'm going to put this one right smack dab in the middle, but kind of overlapping with that leaf on the bottom there. You can see how I've got the vellum leaf going across the paper, but also sticking outward, right? So now we can go ahead and stick the whole thing down. I'm so glad that I didn't forget this step. Okay, so here's an inch mark and a half inch, and then there we go, 5/8. So if we stick it right there, then we should be good to go. Okay? Ah, yay. All right, let's move that out of the way. And let's go ahead and punch. Now we can bring our classic label punch in, and we're going to just insert it all the way, and it's going to position perfectly in the middle of that cardstock. No matter where you slide it, it's going to be in the middle. So I kind of go down about 1/4 of an inch from the top, and it doesn't matter really. You don't have to be exact in this step. You could have it even up higher. It depends on where you want your dragonfly to go. Plus, you know, your flowers kind of dictate where your dragonfly will go sometimes too, right? So if you have more flowers down here on your card, you'd want to be doing your punching a little bit lower. So I want my punch to be about here, again, about 1/4 of an inch from the top. And I've inserted it all the way so it's flat, the cardstock is flat against that. And I'm just going to go ahead and punch. And then I'm going to shift it so that I'm adding a little bit more length to that little slot that we're creating, okay? And I think that's about 1/2 inch. I mean, again, it's just eyeballing, and then you can kind of peek to see if it works. And on this one it does. You can see here, I don't know if you can, there we go. Now there's some light behind it. So you can see that with the light that dragonfly will pass all the way through. With the butterfly, the wings go beyond and up higher, so you want to make sure that if you're going to use that butterfly die, that you want to measure with the wings rather than with the middle of the body. The dragonfly, the wings don't go up any higher than the head, so we're good to go on that. Okay, now we're going to add our dragonfly, and glue dots I think are super strong for this step. So you can go ahead and add one behind the head, add one behind the body, and I always put my cardstock onto my glue dots directly, okay? And then once I have 3 on the back there, can you see all those 3 there? Yeah, there we go. This is fun. I am so excited about my technology, you guys. This is so cool. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and take the dragonfly body and hold on to the wings and make sure that everything's lined up and press it down like that, okay? Do the same thing. Now we have to add the dragonfly, forgot one there, the dragonfly to the card. So we'll put 3 more glue dots behind there. With the glue dot that is behind the bottom part of the body, you might find that the glue dots that are further into your roll are a little wider and flatter. It's because they're pressed a little bit firmer, you know, the pressure of being in the box or packaging or whatever. And so you might have to kind of roll that bottom one in a little bit so it's not sticking out. Okay, now we can just keep the card closed. Make sure the dragonfly is right in the center of that little slit. Then you can fold the wings upward and check to make sure that it will go through, and it does. Yay! Okay, now we want to do some stamping. So let's do some stamping and then we'll do some embellishing. I'm going to use the Archival Basic Black ink pad. It's a wonderful color black. And we're going to use some images, which I didn't show you yet, but I mentioned in the supply list. We're going to use images from this stamp set called Better Together, and there's a lot of great outside and inside messages on this. So, oh, thank you, Karen. Oh, you guys are sweet. I'm reading some comments while I'm doing this. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and ink up that stamp. We've got Happy Birthday. And I love, again, I love that image because, I don't know if I even mentioned this yet. No, I didn't mention it yet. Never mind. I'm thinking of the broadcast that I did at noon with my team. I showed them this image with a card earlier. So, okay, here we go. So we're gonna stamp that on the front of our card, and you're gonna see now how beautiful this is with it. Because it looks like it's kind of flying, you know, all those little swirls on the birthday message is just a swirly whirly little image, so it's kind of cool. And then this is the one that matches it, wishing you happiness on your special day. So we'll ink that up. By the way, my table with my stamping and with my big shot, if you've seen previous broadcasts, it's not, my table's moving, but the camera isn't because I have my camera in another spot. So way less jiggling. I've solved a lot of problems this week. All right, we're gonna go ahead and stamp that in the upper right corner at the top. And I'm using the thick Whisper White. I should have mentioned that in my supply list. This is thick Whisper White, and so you will not see the blackness from the stamping on the other side, unless you're holding it up to the light. But it's a lot thicker. Sorry, I need to change that supply list. Oh, there's always some mistake. Oh well, we're not perfect. Okay, we're gonna close this now. And we're going to do the final embellishments. Now for the final embellishments, I have two different embellishments. This one's kind of all over the place here. I have these clear, glitter and clear epoxy shapes. They are from our Occasions or Spring catalog, and there's some fun little clear ones, and then there's ones that are clear with glitter. So I'm just going to grab a little stack of them, and I've found that they're easiest to take off with just my fingernails, which, by the way, did you guys notice that I painted them again? Yay! My nails have healed. They went through some pain for a while. The last time I took off nail polish, it was a bad manicure that I got somewhere else, and it was very painful to remove it myself. I couldn't, and so anyways, just a bad manicure, and now I'm healed again. Yay! So I get to paint my nails again. So guys don't care. So I'm just putting these little things here and there as if they're little fun bubbles. I don't know, just kind of like dewdrops or whatever, right? Can you see that there with the light, hopefully? And then for the middle of the body, I'm gonna add some rhinestones. So let's go ahead and pull out my sheet of rhinestones, and we're gonna use the light, this is the Bermuda Bay, light Bermuda Bay Stampin' Blends marker. The Stampin' Blends, by the way, had to take a break for a while as a product line. We have found out that they're way more popular than what we anticipated, and so they not only were they on back order for a while, several colors, but they Stampin' Up shut them off so that the back order situation wouldn't get out of control, and they're taking this time now for the next couple months. Actually, it'll be done soon. But if you've tried to order certain colors or whatever, they're not available yet. But they will be again because we love them so much. Okay, so no need to worry on that. But okay, so now we're gonna take our little rhinestone here that we colored, and we're gonna lay it right in the middle of the body, and this one here. Put it there. I can't wait to show you the other samples too that I made. So don't go yet, okay? And I hope that you're commenting and sharing. I'm not seeing a ton of comments, but the more you comment, the chances are better for you to win. Yes, I have two prizes at the end again. Yay! Okay, so here is the finished card. Let me hold it up a little bit closer so you can see it. And it will lie flat when you mail it. You may want to put like a piece of cardstock over it when you mail it to keep the embellishments from poking through the envelope. But again, you open it, and I think this one's my favorite out of all of them. I don't know. I like a lot of them. All right, so here we go. Here's one. I see a question. Did someone, oh, let me see here. What did you write, Darlene? Can you use the Stampin' Blends on the gel dots, the glue dots? Oh, or are you talking about these things here? These things, I bet, is what you're talking about. I'm sure you can put them on glue dots, but they probably take the stickiness away. But yes, you can use them on this too. I've used them on pearls. I've used them on all kinds of things. So yeah, it's like a Sharpie marker kind of thing. And so, okay, and I'm going to show you on pearls in just a minute. But here's another one. So this one was the one you just saw, but it was a little plainer. And I used the clear and glitter epoxy shapes for the eyeballs. Can you see here? I don't know. the angle, it's harder to get the right angle in this lighting right now, but hopefully you can see that. I use them for the eyeballs there, and then they're throughout there. Same stamp set. Let me show you a couple other samples. We have this one, which I thought looked very wedding-ish because it has the pearls on it. And so there's the inside, all the best. Great sayings in this stamp set. If you don't own the Better Together stamp set, you're missing out because you get a lot of different occasions, inside and outside greetings, and I love it. Okay, and then here are a couple that I did with the Whole Lotta Lovely paper. And we have, let's just show this one first. So this one I also colored with the same Stampin' Blends marker. And you'll notice the paper is a little bit shorter, but it still works, right? You don't have to have it go from top to bottom. So this is the 4-inch tall by 2-inch wide paper. So for those of you using 12 by 12 paper, that works pretty well. Okay, so there's that one. And then on this one here, Vicki, I hope you're with me. I don't know if you are or not, but anyways, her and I were doing these cards yesterday for the monthly swap that I'm in, and she cranked out, all of the dragonflies in black, and then we started putting the cards together, and it didn't look good against the black background of the paper. So just know that when you're using black paper, you don't want to have a black dragonfly on it. So we use Pool Party instead, and I think it looks stunning that way. I think it really pops, right? And here are, oops, let me tuck this back in because you want to see all of them, right? Here is another card that I did in this is a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch size card, and I made this size because it worked well to fit the punch all the way in, and it's centered perfectly. Plus, this fits on the pizzas, little mini pizza boxes really well. So if you're looking for some kind of embellishment to put on top of the mini pizza boxes that we sell, this is a great size. The 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 base for your folded card or whatever. So altogether it would be what, 6.5 by 3 1/4. This is the gold foil paper. There's some embellishments here that look like they're gold, but I'm going to tell you how I colored them. Do you also notice that this one has the full, but like on this one, I used 2 of the detailed vellum, detailed dies for that. So you can go either way underneath your dragonfly. Okay, how did I make the gold? I used the Daffodil Delight dark blends first on the pearls, and then I went around the edges, the outside edges, and colored them with the bronze Stampin' Blends marker. So those 2 colors together, this not put everywhere, just put it around the outside edges, will create that gold look. Crazy but cool. And for a card like that, you want to be able to write on the inside. So I just grabbed our white pencils from our watercolor pencils, but you could, there's other ways to color on the inside of black, or on a card that's black on the inside. You could use like gel pens, or we have that chalk marker. So feel free to make black cards because you can still sign them if you have the right tools, right? Okay, I think that was what I was going to share as far as that goes. Keep in mind that the retired list will get posted. It will get posted on Monday, April 9th. So if you are not a demonstrator and you don't have access to getting a hold of that information from yourself or from a demonstrator that you might have already, then I invite you to subscribe to my blog. You go to Stamp Your Art Out. There it is, right there. StampYourArtOut.com. And once you're there, just click on subscribe and you can get updates when I post. Plus there's also a little newsletter section there, so you can subscribe to my newsletter, and I will be posting in those 2 places for sure right away on the 9th when we have access to sharing that. So go ahead and make sure that you are subscribed, right? Okay, so this paper here, I think, what is it called? Fresh Florals. These are the 2017 through 19 in colors, and I just cut this paper to 6 by 6. So it's perfect for somebody who wants to make a bunch of floral type of Dragonfly cards like this, right? So this is one of the prizes. I'll package it up and send it. And then this is one of the prizes, the clear and glitter and clear epoxy shapes. So we're gonna switch the screens here. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Okay, here we go. I'm not reading as many comments as I normally do during my regular broadcast, you guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's switch screens. Oh, I gotta make sure my computer is to the right spot here. Okay, here we go. We are, isn't this cool, you guys? Look, I just love this, that I have like three camera. Okay, so I'm more in awe of this than you guys are, I'm sure. But let's go ahead and refresh the posts. And we're going to see, oops, I gotta log in again. Oh, I waited too long. I talked too much. That's what it was. Rachel is a talker. All right, so we are logging in, and when this gets refreshed, we're gonna pick 2 winners. One for the clear and glitter epoxy shapes, and one for that stack of paper. And hey, let's send a Dragonfly card with those prizes too. All right, yay, you guys are commenting. And if you shared this video, or if you're sharing it right now, make a comment that says you are sharing, okay? So I haven't clicked this yet. Anybody else want to say anything? All right, here we go. Pick a winner. You can enter this way, pick a winner. Who do we have for our first winner? Let's scroll. We have Kathy. Yay! Yay, Kathy! And let's do another winner. Here we go. Let's click this and this. And who's our second winner? Vicky! Congratulations, you two. I will contact Kathy first after I'm done broadcasting, and then I will contact Vicky and let her know what she won, because Kathy, you get to pick since you were the first one. I hope that this was really fun for you guys on your end, because for me, this was super cool to not have to like drop my phone, to have everything facing the right way. I mean, seriously, you can read this. I'm loving this. I don't know. I'm a fan of this Switcher Studio thing. So make sure that you are subscribed to my Facebook page as well, so that you know the next time that I am broadcasting. It's every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Time. I will be back next week. I have something in mind that I want to share, but I might be greatly influenced by what I see when I go to the Stampin' Up! On Stage event in just a couple days. I'm going to go out to Hartford, Connecticut. So normally my home base would be the Milwaukee location, but I have 3 people on my team that I'm so excited to meet in person. And so I'm going to go out there with Mary. Mary's going to fly out there with me. She's from Minnesota, and us 5 are going to have our own little group out in Hartford, Connecticut. We're going to see the catalog. Oh, it's so much fun to be a demonstrator. Okay, anyways, I'll be back next week, 2 o'clock, and whether I show something with new product or whether I show the project that I had in mind, I don't know yet. It depends on if I have any product in my hands, I guess. But love you guys. Thanks all for joining, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Bye.